I am Evelyn Sinclair, a woman cloaked in wealth, power, and influence. With a lifetime devoted to the meticulous construction of an empire valued at over $12 billion, I stand as a formidable testament to ambition, strategic foresight, and relentless perseverance. Every day, I navigate through a labyrinthine world of high stakes, orchestrating a complex network of investments and properties designed to solidify my legacy and broaden my sphere of impact. My life has become a finely tuned instrument, crafted for success. Yet today, an unsettling tension hovers in the air that threatens to destabilize my world, for I find myself at the epicenter of a scandal ominous enough to collapse the empire I have worked tirelessly to build. This tale, which unfolds against a backdrop of ambition and wealth, spirals into a dramatic saga of betrayal, fraught with the brutal consequences of familial loyalty and the intricate chains binding us to those we hold dear, our loved ones. The scene unfolds during a brisk autumnal season in Vermont, where the landscape is transformed into a riot of colors, fiery reds and warm golds painting the horizon, a breathtaking backdrop that belies the turmoil simmering beneath. The warm allure of family gatherings should serve as a source of solace, a comforting refuge amidst the fierce competition that characterizes my life. Nevertheless, my sprawling estate, typically abuzz with laughter, festivities, and the inviting scent of roasted meats mingling with the crispness of pine, has morphed into a battlefield of unspoken grievances. Underneath the veneer of familial harmony lie dormant wounds, each festering and threatening to erupt like a long-buried volcano, menacingly poised to engulf everyone and everything in its path. My son, Charles, a man of education and ambition in his 40s, had once revered me, a visionary, a matriarch who inspired awe and admiration. But as the years have passed, that admiration has faded, warped by the dark currents of his own insatiable desire for power and recognition. I have felt the stirrings of discontent beneath the surface, an unease that has turned our once cordial discussions into terse clashes laden with bitterness that remains unexpressed. Each conversation feels meticulously crafted yet detached, laden with carefully chosen words that build an insurmountable wall between us. It is both tragic and ironic that while blood binds us, it can just as easily become a wedge, like threads of a beautifully woven tapestry that risk unraveling with the slightest pull. My sacrifices for this family have been vast, etched deep within the marrow of my existence, yet they seem to amount to nothing in Charles's discerning eyes, casting a long shadow over the love and commitment I've poured into our relationship. One fateful evening, during a lavish dinner party where I had proudly showcased my latest acquisition, a stunning $12 million ring that glittered like the very essence of my success, the underlying tension shattered into chaos. Charles, his frustration simmering just beneath the surface, confronted me in a private room, his fury boiling over like magma ready to burst through the earth. "You're too controlling, too ambitious, Mom. It's time for you to step aside and let me take over." His words struck the air like thunder, the herald of a storm cloud ready to unleash its wrath. I stood stunned, my heart racing as if racing against time itself, caught off guard by the force of his resolve. "Do you think your ambition can silence me?" I shot back, my voice steady, even as an internal tempest surged within me. "This empire isn't just mine, it's part of our legacy." But he was not finished. His eyes reflected a dangerous resolve, his ambition igniting a flame capable of consuming both of us. The confrontation escalated, words exchanged like daggers, sharp, unyielding. "I will not be silenced or brushed aside. I will protect this empire with every ounce of my strength," I declared, my voice rising to meet his challenge, my own resolve hardening under pressure. Then, amid our chaotic exchange, an unexpected shift in the room caught my attention. A so-called friend, who had insisted on recording our heated discussion for security reasons, unveiled the sordid nature of his intentions. I had unwittingly laid bare my raw emotions, unknowingly providing a weapon against me, a digital trap ensnaring my very essence. As despair and rage settled in my heart, the bleak reality dawned upon me. I was no longer merely embroiled in a familial crisis, but ensnared in a digital web woven for my destruction. The very next day, a jarring call plunged me deeper into despair. A mutual acquaintance revealed the recording had already begun to cascade through New York's elite circles, spreading like wildfire through dry brush, an insatiable blaze. Quickly, it became painfully clear that our family spat had morphed into a scandal, threatening to tarnish my hard-won reputation and dismantle my empire brick by brick. In those frantic hours following the news, I went through the increasingly hollow motions of running my company, attending meetings dressed in professionalism while my mind spiraled into chaos, grappling with the potential ramifications. I reflected on my trust fund, exceeding $3 billion, and the precarious power balance within my meticulously crafted board structure. Years of careful maneuvering now hung by a delicate thread. Everything hinged upon maintaining an appearance of unity and control, yet the feeling of betrayal compounded within me, a heavy weight suffocating my very resolve. Then came the tipping point, a moment that would alter the course of our lives forever. Just as I gathered my thoughts to unveil a new venture at a highly anticipated gala, my legal counsel stormed into my office, expression pale, eyes wide with panic. "Evelyn, the video is going viral. You need to act swiftly," he warned, trembling as urgency spilled from him. My mind raced against the clock. Each ominous tick echoed the urgency of our plight. This was no longer merely a familial dispute. It had morphed into an existential struggle, a battle for my name, my legacy, and ultimately, my very survival. The whispers would soon morph into a wildfire, tainting everything I'd meticulously built, a devastating avalanche poised to bury me. In the ensuing days, I found myself engulfed by excruciating decisions. Should I confront Charles directly, risking a violent backlash, or maintain an uneasy silence that preserved the status quo? I opted against confrontation, believing it prudent to keep our conflicts under wraps, an evasive maneuver in the treacherous game we found ourselves ensnared within. I pondered whether I had miscalculated my trust in Charles. Allowing him too close to my world may have been my gravest oversight, an error in the strategic gambit I thought I had so deftly mastered. At last, the night of the gala arrived, draped in a cloak of tension laced with anticipation. We gathered in the grand ballroom of one of New York's most luxurious hotels, where glistening crystal chandeliers illuminated the elegant crowd. Each glimmering light was a stark reminder of the fortune I cultivated and the peril lurking over it. Adorned in a stunning Dior gown, the very ring that sparked our discord nestled on my finger, a silent testament to what was at stake. As I navigated through a sea of wealthy investors and influential diplomats, I felt their stares pierce through me like daggers aiming at a carefully composed facade, each hushed whisper an echo of the danger swirling just beneath the elegance. Then, in a moment that would forever alter my narrative, an announcement sliced through the crescendo of chatter. A rival financier, always vigilant for opportunities to undermine my power, declared with a laugh, "Evelyn Sinclair may be losing her grip on power." His words cut through the crowd like a knife, a chilling proclamation rattling me to my core. Panic surged through my veins, mingling with disbelief. This could very well be a calculated attempt to sabotage my authority and undermine everything I desperately needed from my peers. As chaos simmered in the surrounding crowd, I summoned the remnants of composure, forcing myself to regain control over my emotions and the narrative unfolding around me. Each breath became a reminder of the weight of my empire, a burdensome crown I had learned to wear with a mix of pride and trepidation. "Ladies and gentlemen," I injected with newfound resolve, my voice steady and commanding, "though these may prove challenging times for my family and me, I assure you I will fight for my legacy, for the future of this empire." A hush swept through the audience, their surprise palpable, caught off guard by the assertiveness I projected, shattered remnants of my weakened image rebuilt with fierce determination. This declaration marked a pivotal turning point within me, a reclamation of my identity transcending the chaos that surrounded me. In that moment, the very essence of my existence, forged through the trials of adversity, reshaped itself anew. I transformed from a beleaguered victim to an unyielding contender, seizing control of my narrative, transmuting fear into a courageous fire that surged from the core of my being, raw and unshackled. In the aftermath of the swirling controversy, I was forced to confront painful truths I could no longer shy away from. My relentless pursuit of power and perfection had inadvertently etched fractures within my relationships, shattering the very foundation that sustained me, cracking like delicate porcelain buffeted by storms of ambition. I had allowed my drive to overshadow the essential bonds of family. Relationships that should be nurturing had morphed into chains, binding me to a hollow existence devoid of warmth and comfort. Wealth, I realized, is a tapestry not merely woven with dollar signs, but intricately laced with understanding, compassion, and trust. Otherwise, it risks transforming into a gilded prison that ensnares one's very soul and renders us captive to our own desires. As I reflect on the unfolding events, an unsettling truth resonates within me, reverberating like forgotten echoes of cries. In the world of extreme wealth, appearances can be deceiving. Nothing is truly as it seems, and every dollar is tainted by the shadows of ambition, gone awry. The pursuit of power can blind you, creating blind spots in your perception that may lead you to overlook those you cherish most. When that clarity fades, a profound threat looms, encroaching upon the very essence of what we hold dear, erasing connections that once defined us, our very family. Thus, I extend this challenge to you, my audience. How far would you go to safeguard your empire, your hard-earned legacy? What sacrifices would you be willing to make? And is there a line you would draw in the sand? How far can ambition carry you before it spirals into a consuming darkness? I am Evelyn Sinclair, and my story unfolds like a vivid tapestry still being woven. The battle for my empire and my identity rages on, yet I stand resolute, facing it head-on, ready to confront whatever awaits me in the shadows, wherever the path may lead me. The question looms large before me. Will I rise victorious from the ashes, or will I succumb, ensnared by the very ambition that kindled my ascent? Only the passage of time will reveal the truth of my fate, echoing the unbreakable spirit thrumming in my chest, a spirit that may guide me through the storm, illuminating the darkness with the fire of unwavering resolve. And even now, as I stand on the precipice of uncertainty, a determination glimmers within me. I may have stumbled, but the fight is far from over. Each day, I awaken to the reality of my situation, a story not merely about wealth, but about resilience, identity, and the delicate art of balancing dreams with reality. My journey is a reminder that even the mightiest empires can falter, yet the strength to rise again is forged in the crucible of challenge and adversity. Hope mingles with resolve, an undeniable force propelling me forward as I prepare to face whatever may come.